Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to your Wednesday edition of TraderMerlin. A little bit of a bloodbath out there for those of you who might be long. Some nice downside moves in the equity markets, and we're going to actually not even talk about the equity markets. Maybe the parallels of the equity markets. We're going to focus a lot today on the FX, currency, Forex side of things today, as you guys may have seen on my YouTube or Facebook, as well as on my Twitter. It's about market uncertainty with none other than Mr. David Warner. David, how you doing today?
Doing great, man. How are you today?
Fantastic. Good to have you with us. As always,
Good to be here again.
I like the patriotic scene in the background there. You're looking pretty good. If you guys can't see the detail, he's got Hulk Hogan, Wonder Woman, and Ice-T on his wall. You got to represent.
Ice-T, man.
It's all about Ice-T. What's going on in your world, man? What's new with you?
Man, things are good, man. I'm living in the center of the universe, Williamsburg. I've been in a new place. I've been in this place for probably about a month now, but I finally feel like I've put it together and it feels like a home. But I'm just loving it, man. I just live in literally the coolest place on the entire planet.
Wow.
I've been trading a lot and things are going freaking fantastic. I'm knocking on wood here right now for that just to continue. And I'm just really, really excited, for, just the rest of this year. I think it's going to be it's going to be nuts, and I'm looking forward to it.
Bring it on. We love nuts. as in craziness. So you got a big group of people here. Shout out to Gary, Ron, Terry. We got Big Eb, of course, Zach, Kev, Sue, Tom, Tomasino, Jorge, as well as Brian K. saying the Fed not playing ball. Guys, today we had Powell speaking. Of course, you had several other central bankers and Fed people speaking. Also, they've been speaking every day this week. And some people may be feeling that they aren't going to play ball, aren't going to give any extra stimulus, and that's maybe why we saw this market tank, which conveniently happened 10 minutes before Powell was supposed to speak today. David, maybe we can start off there with the Powell effect and what he said or didn't say. I know you're glued to what the Fed people say, so what did you feel it was noteworthy out of it?
Yeah, I'm glued to central banks. Basically, I think they're going to support the government and support the economy at least through December, through the election, so we won't have any type of government shutdown. But you really have to, the dollar is probably one of the more dangerous currencies to trade right now, just because it's not even a technical thing anymore. It's complete fundamentals. It's complete what's going on with central banks. And just history has shown that typically the dollar does not do well in September and October leading up to an election. So while I can be overall bullish on the dollar, I think the dollar will probably be I don't have a crystal ball, but come November, December, I could see I'm just envisioning a dollar strength. But from now until then, I think it's going to be, I'm not really on the bull train of the dollar right now. Just because, just the election, it's uncertainty. It's just, I don't know, man. I think there's other places to kind of focus on rather than dollar strength. Man,
David, we're going to have to digress here. I'm on that train. I'm the conductor of that dollar train going, choo-choo, chugging. It's interesting because you said historically during election years, you generally see equity market strength, which of course would equate to dollar weakness. However, I would contend, and we don't need to go down the political alleys here, but I would contend that this is probably one of the more uncertain elections. Of course, the last one with Trump and Hillary Clinton was a foregone conclusion that Hillary was going to win, and of course she did not. In this case, we don't know, and I think what we could all agree on is, if there is a change of party, it will be a complete disruption to the system, which, might be good in the long run, might be bad in the long run, who knows. But that uncertainty, I'm more of the camp of, I think this election cycle is different. I think that this election cycle, you're going to see a little bit more of a market sell-off going into because of the uncertainty, and that would in turn, for me, mean the dollar being bullish. And as we can see here on this dollar chart, guys, dollar's broken above some pretty key levels. If I put a horizontal line across this, 93 and change mark, well, we've had 3 huge days for the dollar, which, of course, if you're trading the pound or the euro or the yen or the Aussie, it has created some phenomenal moves out there. So I'm actually more in the bullish camp. I think you got pretty much clear cut till 96 on this dollar index, and I think you can get there fairly quickly. So I'm the redheaded stepchild here today, David.
Listen. I'm going to share a screen with you real quick.
Yeah, please do.
So you can see this. 1 second. So this is like, can you see I have like a dollar yen chart up right now?
Yep, there we go. Got it.
Okay, so like that is this is a monthly chart. Like that's November 2016, and this is where it's like I feel like going into the election we can see some weakness, but like I am definitely bullish on the dollar, and I will be like, I don't even know which way this election is going. Not to get into kind of anything as far as that's concerned, but like you see November 2016, like I should probably move this into even like if I did a daily or a weekly, but basically on the night of the election, I remember this was actually like I was just like in a euphoria because like I was long this dollar yen, and like I went from like 102.5 like 102.50 to like 17.50, and it took like literally I don't even think it took 2 months. So it's just like, just like you can see just like this massive dollar strength. Hopefully you can see kind of my mouse,
yep.
But like I envision, like I don't have a crystal ball obviously, but I have been buying things against the dollar this month so far. Like I was like, I'm going to plug my Twitter here a little bit here. Like
do it. I actually even have I had your Twitter up with your name. Let me see if I can throw the name.
Yeah. Follow.
There you go.
But like, even just like this was even just like last night, I was like, okay, like the reason like I am trading Australia USD, like Australia USD for me right now is the S&P 500. And so like, and like I've just been like kind of cautiously bearish on like the S&P 500. I'm not trading the S&P 500, but like I'm trading the Australian US dollars. I was like, okay, below 72.50. If we stay below 72.50, let's continue on and just kind of go lower. And like right now, like 70 is the target. I know I've been on here, you've heard me a million times, but like I'm a big like, basically my entry points and exit points are going to be, some type of quarter or some type of whole number. So like 72.50 is a big, huge quarter price. And I saw we started kind of dipping below it, and then it's just like, okay, big quarter to big quarter, 72.50 down to 70, and right now it looks like that's what it's going to do. I just like it's tough to for me right now it's kind of tough to I'm going to unshare this here. Stop sharing. Right now to me it's kind of tough to like want to take on risks. Or like like what I mean by that is like I'm going to buy put more money into the stock market and all that. I feel like we're going to get into some type of like profit taking or something, and I just like the stock market, the dollar, like those are pretty shaky to me right now.
Yeah, and I agree with you on those. It's just kind of interesting. We had this discussion yesterday or a couple days ago where one of the viewers was asking me and saying, hey, you have a situation like this where you're looking at all this economic data, how much emphasis do you put on it? And I said, well, I like to look at that economic data because, it helps me understand what's going on. But then again, you have the wild card of the central bank. You have the wild card of our government doing, stimulus and all that sort of stuff. So even though the data might look one way or another, it could get slapped around. And, your example of the AUD USD is great. And I'll bring in my chart up here so you guys can see this one. If you go back to those lows that happened in March, it's beautiful. If you are a technical analyst, this chart right here is the centerfold of Penthouse. This is porn right here looking at this chart because it's just higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And then I look at it and I go, I've got a red flag right now because for the last 4 days, this Aussie dollar has done something it has not done since March, which is just go almost free fall. Now, it's not extended enough, but you can see that it feels like it's starting. What's to make you think that is not going to turn into something much, much worse as it feels like it's picking up momentum right now?
Yeah, it's really picking up momentum right now. Like I have again, no crystal ball, but I right now my money's on that it touches at least 70 and 70. Like, I've been on here before. Like I'm a pro guy.
Uh-oh. I'm losing your Skype, man. I'm losing you. Oh, I'm losing you on Skype.
It's like that's like.
You know, guys, real quick, let me do this. I'm going to hang up on him and call him back just to give me 2 seconds here, and hopefully I can get him back on, because sometimes I get these really funky, weird connections, and I'm hoping that we will get to remedy that one right now. So bear with me 2 seconds here as I try to call him back up and get that video going. It's a bummer because I really wanted to hear his answer to that one. I'm one of those people that says everything works until it doesn't, and all of a sudden we have this very interesting sell-off. There you go, David. You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool. It was weird. I just got a weird audio on you. Perfect. Go back and maybe recover what you were just talking about, because I was talking about that 4-day sell-off on the Aussie, and I'd love to get your feedback on it.
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen again. Hopefully you can see the Australian USD again.
Yep, got it.
Okay, so like, I don't know what you heard, but like 70 cents is like the next big round figure target right now. Now 70 cents is like, it's a line in the sand, you know? So it's like, I touch 70 cents and then like, I typically look at the market, like I was saying before, like big, whether it's a whole number at a time, a big quarter at a time, even a nickel at a time. But like, if 70 cents, you know, starts, you know, breaching, you got to have to look at the market. The way I always look at the market is almost like 250 pips at a time. So it's like, and like you can kind of, you know, do this yourself, but it's like the idea is that if it breaks below 70, you know, the next place that I would be kind of looking to kind of take it would be like this 200 and even just 250 pips lower. So it's like, and so like right now, like I wouldn't even think about buying this until it hit at least at 70, and then at 70 cents, you're just like, okay, then you're playing this game of like above below, and the idea is, you know, if it gets below, you know, you're going lower, but if like we touch it and it starts closing above, you just kind of take it up. So it's a numbers game, but like this, you're right, like this.
I don't know why your mic keeps cutting out of me. Do me a favor, David. Let's stop sharing your screen, because I think it's cutting out on you.
Okay. Stop sharing.
I'll put it. Yeah, I don't know. You know.
Okay, can you hear me?
He pays for this. Yeah, I hear you. You pay for this a wonderful apartment in the center of the universe, but apparently your internet just sucks.
I am no fan of Spectrum. Yeah, I'm like, I'm going back to FiOS, man.
Everybody, let's go short Spectrum. That's what we got to do today.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, bro.
Let me ask you this. When you look at that chart, and I've got it up on the screen with your picture here, there's an old adage that people say you never want to catch a falling knife. And my viewers know my take on it. What you basically just said there is you are fine catching a falling knife.
I don't really pick bottom. I'm definitely a chaser. I'm a more momentum guy than anything. Like I think I've said it on here before, but I don't use set and forget. Like I don't use set orders. I don't use limits. Everything is typically a market order. I just feel like I have way more control. But like I have certain price points where it's just like, okay, at 70 cents, like I would never have an order that's just kind of sit there and waiting to like kind of catch a falling knife. But like it's more of like I'm always watching it. I'm watching it all the time. Right. And it's just like around that price, I'll just get interested. And then it's just like, what's going on at that time when it hits 70 cents? Like, does it feel like, okay, is the media, is like everything getting more positive? Does this continue on with this like just kind of negative, you know, thing? And you know, it's really about momentum and then just like what's going on.
Yeah. No, I like it, and I bring it up kind of almost rhetorical because, you know, the industry will tell you don't catch a falling knife, and I disagree. I think that you should absolutely catch falling knives if it's about to hit the table, meaning the table's going to stop it, and that was the point I was getting at. When I look at that 0.70 on the Aussie dollar here, you know, you've identified that. That's a nice round number. It's got some psychology to it. It's really the only real demand level that's, you know, happened in a while. So while most people are panicking, losing their minds, selling the hell out of the Aussie dollar, that's one of those points where there is a probability, a higher probability of it turning. And that to me is okay 100%. To catch the falling knife.
Yeah, I just, like, I don't disagree with you. I may very well be a buyer at 70 cents. I just don't typically just have an order sitting there and waiting.
Right.
So, you know, I know we've talked a lot about, you know, just the Australian dollar USD. Like, I'm not really very bullish on the USD right now, but I will tell you, like, just, I don't know how much time we have left, but like the currency that I am watching more than anything right now is by far the pound.
I think you just need to move to London, dude. You're always like this pound yen guy. You're either going to be British or Japanese. Just pick one and go with it, brother.
God. Oh my God. Dude, I'm telling you right now, dude, I'm going to try to share a screen with you again. Hopefully it doesn't screw anything up, but like we're there. We're there. It's here. Like Brexit is here. Can you see what I have here?
Yep, got it.
Okay, so like this article, it's not even that old. It's like this is today.
4 minutes.
Yeah, so like dude, I'm telling you, man, like we have until from between now until the end of the year, like if there's any freaking currency to focus on, it's the freaking pound. Like this is history. Like history it's here
Again.
Like honestly, like I don't know. Like,
Dave, you got to stop sharing your screen. When you share your screen, it kills your audio. I don't know why. So I will show the British pound over here until you get rid of your shared screen, and then we'll go back. David. Oh, that's why. I think because you got multiple. David, quit sharing your screen, brother. You're killing me. I'm going to delete him. Ugh. The beauty of doing things live. All right. Just one last time, and then I'm done. So he's got that British pound on there, and I think he's right. I think that there's a not once in a lifetime, but we had the original Brexit vote, which was huge, right? And that was one of those events that people thought was just such a rarity. It really was a massive swing for it. We're back up to close to where that British pound was during that Brexit vote. So I'm hoping it can get him connected here. It's just not working. So while I wait for David to connect, there was a question that came in here from, where was that one, about futures versus Adam. You said, how different is Forex trading versus futures currency trading? So basically you're talking spot versus the futures market. They're very different. The difference here is going to be this. One of those is a centralized exchange, and that is going to be the futures side of things. So your spreads are going to be tighter. It's a little bit better with regards to slippage. The other side of it is going to be the spot market, which depending on who you're trading with, you may get weird slippage, you may get weird fills, you may get strange things happening on the spot market, but you generally get better margins in the spot market. I personally prefer the future side of things because it's centralized and I can get one account and I can trade commodities like corn, wheat, soybeans, gold, silver, platinum, palladium. I can trade energies, interest rates, and all that type of stuff. David, you were good. I had you. I saw you sitting there, bud. You're good. So there you go. That's my difference between those two. Matter of personal preference, I actually do prefer the future side of things simply because it's centralized. All right, David, you back with me?
Okay, I'll stop sharing, man.
Yeah, it's okay. For some reason, sharing just kills it. I think you've got it right over here. There was who was it? Medic Mandown says David's using all those AOL free trial hours. That's where we're going.
Seriously.
It's the video. It's just you got to stick to a call. So yeah, you're gone again. I can't do video.
We'll have an internet. I have a different internet next time we're together. Can you hear me?
Okay. So talk to me about the pound. Why do you like this pound so much?
The pound is where it's at. Like the pound is going to pound. Like I don't like, I hate really picking bottoms. Like the pound, like I don't know what you're looking at right now, but the pound has been falling off. Like right now we're kind of at one of those like kind of around one of those interesting prices. Like 27.50 is a price that I would look to engage. It gets above 27.50. Like I am going to be buying the bejesus out of like the pound USD. I think that, and I try to share an article or share some links with you, but like, listen, like it is in the UK and the Euro's best interest to come up with some deal. Like, even if it's just like a weird deal on paper, like they have to have something. And we have that. I think October 15th is like the date. Like we're right there. What is today right now? Freaking September 23rd. Like I'm talking about the next couple weeks. Like I would be like, you're going to see it. So we're going to have like, breaking news, Walt Bloomberg, whatever it is, like some type of like Brexit deal. Like right now, like.
Oh, it's funny because right as you go into your good points, we lose connection. All right. We'll have to try it on a different connection one of these days. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that. You dropped again, brother.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. You're good now.
Yeah, so shoot, man.
It's just cutting out on certain things. I'm not sure what exactly you're doing that's cutting it out, but
I don't know either, dude. But I'm telling you, dude, I don't have a crystal ball, but like if there's any reason for any currency to move for the rest of the year, it's the pound. And like I honestly like I don't you can look at pound right now if you can pull up on your chart. Like look at pound on like a monthly.
okay.
And just like look at like pound USD, look at it on a monthly, and you want to talk about freaking like supply and demand. Like you're like you look at like the at all the history that you have on the pound. Just scroll it all the way back. All the history that you can see as far as like price for the pound, like USD. Look at where the price is right now. Look at where the pound has been. Like this is like what has been priced into the pound has been like a no deal Brexit. That's what's been priced into the pound. Like, and in the next couple weeks, dude, you're gonna get. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just crossing my fingers. Like we're gonna get. Even if it's like a no, even if it is a no deal, like the Eurozone is already like downplaying it, like, oh, it wouldn't be that bad. They're like the pound is going to pound. And like I know everyone's like, okay, well, we're trying to do all this like stuff. Like if there's any currency, like I don't like picking bottoms, but if there's any currency on this planet where I feel like a little bit more comfortable trying to pick bottoms, it's the pound, man. It is the pound. I'm gonna get the hugest pound yen tattoo on my back when I got this thing right, dude. I'm telling you, dude. This thing is gonna be.
I'm looking forward to it.
This is dead, dude.
Hey, I'll tell you, I'm bullish on it as well. I'm bullish on the pound. I mean, I think that this recent month that we've seen, guys. So I'll go back to the daily here on the British pound. You know, you've obviously seen a tremendous sell-off over the past couple of weeks. But once this is all done, I think we've mentioned this many times. I think that what you have is a situation where you remove uncertainty from the equation, which is kind of the topic du jour for the show. When you remove that uncertainty and say that now all of a sudden the British pound is autonomous and can do what they want, that will be great for the pound going forward. Right now, it's just this uncertainty because of the ties and all the different relationships to the EU, and is the EU going to be amicable on their way out? So to me, that's the big challenge here. Yeah,
this is not a currency that you're just going to like, okay, well, I'm going to go like, this is not a technical currency right now. This is everything about what's kind of driving this right now is really the story and just like what is going on with the UK. And like, I wish that I had a chance to share screens with you because like I had some other kind of links and things that I wanted to pull up on it, but like it's here, dude. Like I think like Boris Johnson, like their whole thing is like they play hardball. You know, they'll take everything right down to the wire, but like I think it's in everyone's best interest to kind of get that deal. I think we will. And it's going to be like we could see kind of a little sideways chop, you know, or whatever. Like I'm gonna just I'm gonna plug myself with my Twitter. Like I even put it last night. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be buying Great British Pound 50 pip stops, like 1,000 freaking pip targets, dude. You have any idea like how many chances I get? Like I'm talking about like the possible reward on this. Upside, downside, I'm only looking at buys. Like if you're trying to sell this thing, you better freaking do that with the tight stop and a tight, like you can't just like no open targets on a short on this.
I'm bringing up your Twitter feed to share with everybody just to we can show you that one. Guys, you should add David Warner. It's Warner Dollar at Warner Dollar on Twitter. He is out there talking about different levels he sees going forward. And you know, there was a question coming through here asking about where David's going to be going along. And Jay, if you understand how David operates, it's going to be going off of kind of the quarter mentality. So you know, when you see those quarter numbers come up, those are his buy points. Now you obviously got to be using some semblance of stop losses here because just buying. Especially in the face of this big sell-off here, I'm assuming you've got to be using your stop losses.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Like, listen, if you're still looking at like the pound USD, so like a trigger price point for me right now, the closest one is like 27.50, and if we can like 27.50, 2,500, and even if I'm going at 250 pips at a time, so like I do a lot of like if I went 27, like even just the small target on this, like 27.50 to like $1.30 even. So there's 250 pips there.
Yeah.
Well, I typically I like to use like a 25 pip stop. So it's like you have 250 pip. Like there's no like proximal distal. There's no like percentage of ATRs and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, okay, 27.50 buy, go to 30. That's 250 pip. Well, if I have 25 pip stops, you got 10 to 1. You got 10 to 1. You know, risk to reward.
Right.
So it's just really a numbers game. But like the fact that it's below 27.50 right now, pound dollar, it just kind of opens up the door. In my mind, I'm like, okay, well, if it's below 27.50, okay, we're gonna hit $1.25. And so it's like I get into these like weird things where it's like, okay, I want to buy this, but I'm gonna wait for it to go higher before I buy. And the trigger points right now, 27.50, $1.25, and it's pretty simple.
I got them mapped out. It looks good on here. I wanted to get that question through that came from one of the viewers out there. It's just a little bit different methodology, guys, where he's using that kind of quarter mentality, and I agree with it. I think long term you're going to be rewarded by holding long the pound. The question is just, when does this all get resolved, and when does the British pound start to rise again? Because right now, I mean, you're looking at a pretty significant beatdown over the past 2 weeks.
Dude, we are there, dude. We're there. Like, honestly, let's put it on like your calendar, man. I want to be back the week of some October 15th, whatever that is, dude. I'm here. And that's going to be like, something is going to happen between now and then. It has to. Like they said, they have to have if they're going to have a deal, they have to get it done by like, the date is October 15th. And if they don't have it, like October 15th is the date. And if they can get it done by October 15th, apparently like that's what they need to like get everything done by like December 31st, which is when this whole Brexit, like that's when it's done.
Yeah.
And so they say that they have to have a deal. These are just like what I'm reading right now. Of course, everything freaking, can change. But like what I'm reading now, October 15th is the date. And they're going to have something between now and then. And the UK has been optimistic about it recently. The Eurozone has been optimistic about it recently. It's in no one's best interest just to kind of crash out of the Eurozone.
Well, so, I hope you're right. I'll book you for the 15th or sometime before then. Before we go, because I have to do an early show today. I have a webinar that I'm doing starting in 30 minutes, and I need to get all prepared for that. Tell me about your signature series. I know you're doing a thing on the Trading Academy signature series. So what's that all about?
Oh, man. Join my signature series class. Jesus. So next one is like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. It's just like it's a price-based supply and demand. So it's like, it's not really like, I could teach that class without charts. Like, it's just like, it's focusing on just like using price as kind of like trigger points, really big into risk and reward. And then like the big thing is like, we can stay in a conversation. Like I do a companion session. I actually have it tonight where it's like, we're not just like calling out zones and calling out levels and here's where we buy, here's where we sell. It's like, what is going on in this world right now so that I have an excuse to be a buyer of something or be a seller of something. So like my next one is like, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, teach you a price-based system. And then you get to join kind of an exclusive, companion session, like an XLT only for the people that have actually taken the signature class, which is awesome. And I do that typically, it's every week. So Tuesday, Wednesday nights, everything is recorded. So it's like, even if you don't really latch on to the strategy in, 3 days, you got time just to like watch it over and watch it over and over again. So
cool. Well, David, thank you so much. Sorry we had some internet issues. Stuff like that happens. You'll have to stop using dial-up or rabbit ears for your end.
Drop it.
All right, buddy. Take care, my friend. I will see you probably on the week of the 15th. Sounds like it'd be a good time to get you back on and talk about Brexit.
Let's do it, dude. I'm telling you, man.
All right, David. Thanks so much, man. I'll see you next time. Thanks for coming on today.
All right, bro. See you soon.
Bye.
Later, buddy.
Guys, that was David Warner. Sorry for the little technical issues. Stuff like that happens. We made it through. We got some analysis there. Obviously, he is really aggressive on the British pound. I didn't get a chance to get the Japanese yen up there. I wanted to bring up some Japanese yen. There was also some comments about the euro. Maybe I'll get to those today. But I had to wrap this up. I'm supposed to be jumping onto another webinar here, which starts at 3 p.m. I know some of you have been asking about it, so I will put the link in the chat here. If you are interested in David Warner's signature series, you can go to his Twitter feed, which is @DavidWarner, or contact your local online trading academy to get more information. That will probably be the best way to do it. Let's go. Here is the link to the webinar I'm going to be doing here in an hour. Actually, not an hour, in 30 minutes. So again, I got to take off for that one. Real quick, Jay Homer says, have you ever seen TradeStation and Trade Manager call a sell a buy? I have 3 of those. They told me to call technical support. Just curious if you have ever seen anything crazy like that. I have not, Homer. Do me a favor. If you take a screenshot of that, you can actually send that to me. Just go to TraderMerlin.com or just email me at TraderMerlin@gmail.com is an easy way to send it to me there. And I'll see if I can bring that up and show you what might be going on wrong with that one. Manager call a sell a buy. If you are selling to close sometimes, but it shouldn't be calling a sell a buy. But I'd have to see it to understand, so let me know there, and I will hopefully get you more information on that one. All right, let me go to this real quick so I can wrap up here and get ready for this other webinar, which is all about hot stocks, the crazy crap that's out there in current markets. That's what we're going to look at on that webinar, and hopefully give a little bit cautionary advice. Here's what's happening happened today. No, this is not today. I got these backwards. All right, what do I got? Yeah, no, we're right. Okay, so you actually had this happen today. Here's today, and then I'll show you tomorrow. You can see the manufacturing numbers were actually better than expected for the U.S. Same with our services numbers. What was interesting is for the European Union, their services numbers were not good across the board. They all missed expectations, and their manufacturing was just slightly better than expected, whereas we did much better on both services and manufacturing. Powell testified today. I think that's part of the reason we saw the market tank a little bit. You had crude oil inventories, but other than that, not too much exciting. Let's go back to today's calendar, which brings us this information here. This is for tomorrow. We have new home sales. Now, I'm really curious to see how these new home sales come out because, as I mentioned, we talked about lumber futures about a week ago. My guess is you'll probably see a slight decline in new home sales, as is expected there. So they're expecting it to go from 901,000 to 890,000, a slight drop there, but that's pretty much all you have cooking for tomorrow. Now, on the earnings front, what else do I got for you? Costco, BlackBerry. Yeah, BlackBerry. Anybody still got their PDA from BlackBerry? I don't think so. Rite Aid Corporation, Accenture, Darden, Carnival Cruise Line. We'll see how badly that ship is sinking. And CarMax reports earnings. Really all attention and eyes are going to be on Costco, who's probably doing pretty darn well right now. There you go. So, guys, that is it for today. That's your economic calendar and earnings for tomorrow. On tomorrow's show, we're going to have Sam Evans. We'll probably talk more about Forex, but probably actually all asset classes. So it's great you guys had some questions I didn't get a chance to get to today. If there's things you want me to cover with Sam Evans on tomorrow's show, send those on in on our YouTube channel. You can put them right below this video if you're watching it live on the video right now. Of course, giving me a thumbs up always helps. Comments and questions, please send those in at TraderMerlin.com. And yeah, what is BlackBerry, right? Talk about a fall from grace. They had such a dominant market share. It's almost like Kodak and what happened with them with cameras. Maybe we'll see BlackBerry get into the COVID vaccine business just like Kodak did. And by the way, Johnson & Johnson apparently is very close to a vaccine, so maybe we can all get back to our lives and get rid of our wonderful collection of masks that we're all starting to lose on a regular basis. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Again, if you want to join that webinar, it's free and open. I put the link. I think that link actually works. I'm going to click on it just to see if it actually works. It should be fine. That link takes you out. Nope, it did not. Huh. I must have given you the wrong link. Let me see if I can... That link should have worked. Let's see if I can share this one real quick from a different venue. I thought I had it all set up for you guys, but let me make sure I finally get this one. I can share it, and I will copy that link. Okay, here we go. So here's your link to the live stream. I don't know if I actually did it. I will paste it right there. All right, there you go. There's your live stream to it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Sorry for the short show today, but I just got a ton of stuff I got to take care of. Got to get out of here and go to another webinar. So I will see you guys in probably 30 minutes. If not, I will see you tomorrow with Sam Evans. Send all your questions in to me at TraderMerlin.com. I'll see you tomorrow.